We're going to Memphis. Memphis is
That's the next city.
deeply troubled. And the mayor is happy. He's a Democrat mayor. The mayor is happy. And the governor, Tennessee, the governor is happy. Deeply troubled. We're going to fix that just like we did Washington.
That's in Memphis, actually.
It's in Memphis.
Yeah.
So that's where you were?
Yeah.
I see.
Memphis,
Okay.
the capital of ancient Egypt.
Right. Yeah, you're bringing what?
Perhaps that's where our new God will come from.
Yeah.
This morning, we learned that the president and the governor are looking to bring federal resources to our city, which include the National Guard, which they have the authority to do. I want to be clear, I did not ask for the National Guard, and I don't think it's the way to drive down crime. However, that decision has been made.
About Solana, we keep talking about Ether, all of these other cryptocurrencies, obviously stable coins becoming a big part of the industry as well.
Well, I think so. On day one, it was just Bitcoin. So Gemini was a place where people could easily and safely buy, sell, and store Bitcoin. And now I think we have 100 plus tokens. So the space has grown considerably over the last decade, but we think it's actually just the beginning. If you look at Project Crypto, that effort from the SEC to bring markets on chain, we recently partnered with NASDAQ to help power that future and bring markets on chain. So we think we're actually just getting started, even though we're a decade in the companies. But one of the biggest, coolest products that we have today is the Gemini credit card. I actually brought our Bitcoin orange card that we released in May. And every time you swipe, you can earn Bitcoin or any crypto that we support. And I think that people realize that
Up to 4% back.
up to 4%
That's what I was
back.
gonna ask
Yeah,
how much,
yeah.
'cause
And that's in crypto real-time rewards that hits your account every time you swipe the credit card and buy. So you could buy a flat screen and earn Bitcoin back, and in the future, that Bitcoin could be worth more than the original purchase. So it's
how
much
do you
better than...
access that, or can you, or do you leave it there, or do most people you find just leave it sitting there?
It's real time, so as soon as someone swipes, that Bitcoin or crypto is in your wallet, and you can then spend it or stake it. We think you should hodl it, and in some merchants, we're even offering up to 10% back. So if we think Bitcoin's a 10x from here, so your purchase today at 10% back is actually free.
That's what I have to
Tomorrow.
say.
If we're mining no more Bitcoin, can you even?
You can still mine, and there will
can
be
still mine.
Yeah,
It's much more
so block rewards, even as the sort of the mint decreases, there's transaction fees and other aspects of that.
Most of the mining rewards will switch to transaction fees. So
I knew you would understand.
the supply is fixed, and that's a strength, versus gold is actually slightly increasing.
Because every year you can mine. I assume we're not going to run out of gold.
Hey, guys.
It does expand. Yeah.
Mouth it.
You have trades, or are we halted again?
We have trades, although a lot of the air has come out of this one since first opening up. Gemini currently up about 24%, trading around 34.55 there. The open price was 37.01, and then this company priced its IPO at $28 a share. So it's really just about finding where the supply, where that meets, the demand, which comes from a lot of retail, meets the supply. And so you can expect to see a little bit of volatility today, currently up about 22%. I believe it was up as much as 60% at the highs of the session. But this is, one of a slew of crypto-related IPOs we've seen this year that have had this kind of reaction on day one. And of course, this one got better than expected demand on its roadshow as well, bumping up the pricing above the lifted range and then trading up on day one. It's something we also saw with Klarna earlier in the week. So we'll keep an eye on this trend in terms of just the overall demand for IPOs and then whether they can sustain these prices after they move higher from that IPO level.
Welcome to the Crypto Teacher.
Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel.
And I come back with that video just to make you think. And make sure you join the Patrons. If you're not a part of the Patrons, make sure you're hitting the Cash App. Also, go like and follow the TikTok. More videos to come. And we have Trump taking the National Guard to Memphis. And yes, guys, we know Memphis has crime, but Memphis is very small compared to these big cities that do have crime. So we know it's a bigger plan behind it. And it's all about these data centers. And if you're a part of the premium stock Patreon, you know why Trump is picking these cities. Don't forget to read the newsletter if you're a part of the premium stock Patreon account. It is so important. And these cities are not chosen by chance. It's all about energy, and Elon sneaks in the AI god. Remember, Memphis of Egypt was warned about leading the people astray, and judgment would come, and Memphis was destroyed. Never came back to its original form. And what does that sound like? That's right, America, the Babylon 2.0. And then we also, even though it's silent and it's not getting out, a lot of the Memphis people have been complaining about the AI center that Elon has due to pollution. And remember, the crypto teacher told you. And we have Gemini going public. And the last exchanges standing are now on the stock market. But then, guys, the stock was halted. And we know why. This algorithm went crazy. And they have to halt a stock that's really not that big. But they don't want the people to get paid. Guys, it's all manipulation. And the Winklevoss twins asked about once all the Bitcoin are mined, what's next? But don't forget, guys, Bitcoin can still scale. And remember, the crypto teacher told you. And we have AI valuations coming in crazy. But of course, they're pricing in this fourth industrial revolution. But we know all these valuations are going to come to reality from 2026 to 2036. Remember, we're going to go a whole 10 years with no growth. And these little rate cuts the Fed has left is not going to help. With these interest rates this high, paying $1 trillion just in interest, and that weighs on the economy. And then, of course, we have these corporations that are going to act like they're hurting so they can lay off. But we know small and medium-sized businesses are definitely taking a beating. And that's who employ America. And remember, the crypto teacher told you. We're going to have mass layoffs, but the corporations won't take a hit because they're going to bring in the machines and then increase productivity. Yes, guys, it sounds like a movie, but remember, your life is an illusion, and TV is your reality. And we have the bond market, of course, becoming very, very volatile. We know the Fed is going to cut, but remember, guys, nobody wants this long-term paper, and the Fed can't keep up buying the long end. And that's the reason why Trump has to devalue this dollar, so therefore he can devalue the debt. And remember, the crypto teacher told you. And the one way to play all this debt, that's right, gold. And that's the reason why the central banks are buying it up left and right, because they know this dollar is about to collapse, and they're already planned and ready to go. And so should you. And remember, the crypto teacher told you. Because, you know, when it comes to the NWO, it's all planned out. You have a wonderful day.
We had someone from Khosla on this morning, Keith Raboy, and we mentioned this piece that Vinod Khosla had written a couple days ago in the information about AI valuations, and he said this isn't your usual bubble mania. Most valuations are bonkers, capital concentration is extreme, there will only be a few winners. Is any of that surprising?
No, really, no. If you know, we do a lot of AI investing. In fact, that's the bulk of what we do these days. AI is already transforming the world, and I think we're just seeing kind of the tip of the iceberg here. I don't know about your usage, but I use AI pretty much all day long, and the amount of usage, productivity, value that AI is producing will lead to very big companies being born, and I think hopefully we'll see some of these companies start to go public maybe as early as next year, and I think that's going to be another shot in the arm for the market.
Because 10-year yields, Rick Santelli, they're back above 4%. We've got a big Fed rate meeting and decision on Wednesday. Where will the focus of your big brain and your market be the next few days?
Well, I think the market's going to answer that question for me. Yesterday it was all about 263,000, a big jump in initial jobless claims. And we saw yields plummet even though CPI was close to expectations. Anybody who thinks it wasn't warm didn't really look at the numbers. And today, I think the market's paying a whole lot more attention to that inflation number because as you look at a two-day chart, 2-year yields and 10-year yields now have higher highs than yesterday, reversing that big move. And I think that's important. It's somewhat of a stagflation trade, which was reflected, Brian, in today's University of Michigan sentiment preliminary numbers. You had weakening on the sentiment side, and you had stickiness on the inflation side, although I pay less attention to inflation of surveys than some of the more hard data like PCE, CPI, and PPI. So I do think that the big deal for the Fed meeting is going to be the fact that we're not going to get 50, we're going to get 25. But beyond that, if this stickiness remains, hey, maybe the market's going to reprice how aggressive this easing cycle will be. We have a double bottom potentially. We rejected 4%, which is the low yield close of the year. You see it on the left side of the chart. We all know treasuries like double bottoms. The fact that this reversed, yesterday when I was out there, I said, if I was in the pit, I would have been selling at 4%, looking for yields to bounce, and that's exactly what they did. And finally, when rate cuts are on the way, all investors are grabbing anything that's got a juicy yield, like high yield, junk. Look at the high yield ETF. Basically, yesterday it closed at the highest level in about 3.5 years.
This week, we spoke with Todd Rosenbluth of VettaFi about the best ETFs to play the market. He says investors should look to diversify away from equities by playing the gold rally.
LDM is a great way to get exposure to gold. 10 basis points, you get to diversify your portfolio into something outside of equities and fixed income. There's uncertainty globally. There's uncertainty about what actions the Federal Reserve is going to take and how monetary policy is going to shift perhaps in 2026. Investors are embracing gold.
Rosenbluth says the GLDM, or the Spider Gold Mini Shares, is seeing the second most inflows of all ETFs in September, with gold hitting, of course, several record highs. He also says the PPLT, the Aberdeen Physical Platinum ETF, is seeing strong inflows in recent weeks.
Going to a different economy, and we're going to be learning more about that as we go. But clearly, we're learning that things can be done from remote locations. We're learning that technology can replace people even more than we thought.
We're not going back to the same economy. We're recovering, but to a different economy, and it'll be one that is more leveraged to technology. And I worry that is going to make it even more difficult than it was for many workers.
In Silicon Valley, and my friends who work in technology know that what we did to the manufacturing workers, we are now going to do to the retail workers, the call center workers, the fast food workers, the truck drivers, and then even bookkeepers, accountants, insurance agents, lawyers, and on through the economy. So what happened to the manufacturing workers is a very clear sign.
And so we'll import Chinese-based CBDC technology. So it's going to be CBDC in a box provided to you by the People's Bank of China. But every stock, every bond, every currency, every commodity, every piece of art, every private business, every piece of real estate will eventually be a token on a blockchain, an entry on a ledger, permanent and immutable. We will have truth instead of trust, and we will save over $7 trillion a year. 6 to 8% of global GDP is wasted by the friction of the trust industry that's necessary when you have dual entry accounting. With triple entry accounting, which is what a blockchain is, we get rid of all of that friction. It's a beautiful future.
Like what you see in China and their social credit scoring systems, right? If we get identity wrong, it could be a tool to enslave humanity. And if we get it right, it could be a tool to liberate humanity. And as an American, I'm obviously rooting for the one that's on the side of freedom.
Bitcoin is an international asset. And also, I do believe the role of crypto is, it's digitizing gold.
I actually believe this technology is going to be very important.
look at it. We have been part of the huge revolution in investing through ETFs. We believe that ETFs will be changing the whole way we invest. Many people still use it as a means, well, people are investing it for indexing. No, the majority of people who are putting money in an index, in ETFs, are active investors that are buying exposure. The entire bond market is being transformed as we talk right now. I believe the next generation for markets, the next generation for securities will be tokenization of securities. And if we could have that distributed ledger that we know every beneficial owner, every beneficial seller, we all have our code of who's buying, who's selling, instantaneous settlement. And think about it, it changes the whole ecosystem.
Chinese bank ICBC has been hit by a ransomware attack, and the U.S. Treasury market, as a result of that, has been disrupted. This, according to the Financial Times. We're getting at more right now with Bloomberg's Shonali Bassick. Shonali, what do we know?
Listen, we have the Financial Times now reporting that ICBC, one of China's largest banks here, was hit with a ransomware attack. And remember, they're a very significant intermediary in the Treasury market. The SIFMA has told its members that this has been part of the reason here that the system is kind of clogged up, if you will, during that auction that we saw a little bit before. The attack had prevented ICBC, according to the Financial Times, from settling Treasury trades on behalf of other market participants. A large executive at a major bank also telling the paper that such a large party on the fixed income clearing corp creates major concerns, potentially impacting the liquidity of Treasury markets.
Now, it was not just a poor auction. It was absolutely lousy, and you know, when the dealers have to step in to save a treasury auction, that's a rare occurrence. And
Crypto Teacher and the New World Order book, plus the 3 Kids books. It's time to re-educate. Also, new to cryptos, Coinbase, Bitrue, Binance. Do not forget book links and crypto links are in the description. The stock channel, guys. Don't forget to go like, subscribe, spread everywhere. You have your Kobo, your chip stocks, your banking, your gaming. While everybody's sitting at home, get home stocks, the Seaver, the biotech stocks. And while everybody's at home wishing, they were still getting that free money. What are they doing? Drinking and smoking weed. Don't forget about those stocks, and you have a wonderful day. The most powerful person in the world is the storyteller. The storyteller sets the vision, values, and agenda of an entire generation to come. Steve Jobs. And guys, you know I truly believe in this. When you look at the New World Order, they're the storytellers. And that's the reason why I wrote my New World Order book. But guys, now it's time to change the current generation. And I wrote 3 kids books. You know I love the Trinity because I understand the power that's in it. So I have 3 books. We have an opportunity to change the generation, to educate, not just me, but I want to show you that I take action on a daily basis. And I want you to take action on a daily basis. Whether it's your job, whether it's in your community, we have an opportunity right now to educate the masses. I posted this on my Twitter account. Please share, but this is a short clip of the 3 books. There's going to be a clothing line and action figures. Please get these books for your kids, nephews, cousins, friends, so therefore we can start the re-education now. Because as we see, the 4th Industrial Revolution foundation is definitely here. Robots, algorithms, drones, taking humanity out the picture. We have to re-educate. But let's get into the video.
Part 1. King Joshua and Grandma Tam save the village. Part 2. King Joshua and Grandma Tam save New York from COVID-33. Part 3. King Joshua and Grandma Tam goes to China.
It's mandatory to get part 1, part 2, and part 3 of this series. It's time to re-educate Generation Z.